sorry. Oh, top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who would like to go first? You're laying your heart out on the line right now.
Just to get a feel for what type of movies we enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is like, I feel like when people ask you like, what's your favorite movie, it says a lot about you. Now, top 5, that even gives you more flavor, right? So, let's see if we go very paint by numbers with our top 5 movies of all time.
What do you mean by paint by numbers?
If we're like, oh, let me tell you about The Godfather, Citizen Kane.
Okay, well then maybe I should start. So, I'm gonna go with...
Maybe you should.
I'm gonna go with I'll go 1 to 5.
We go 1 to 5?
No,
What are you, a crazy person?
do it
5 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well
You gotta build.
Okay, well then, chill. My number 5... My number 5 is There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
My number 4 is...
I love that, that's a good thing.
My number 4 is Take Shelter.
Right, I still haven't seen it, but I know, like, I remember when you saw it, you went,
Is that like your newest? It would be like if your top.
I guess it would be like my...
Like, in the terms of your top 5, is it the most recent?
Yeah, yeah. Number 3...
2009?
2011.
Oh,
Or,
whatever first year university.
Yeah.
2011.
and then it is It's a Wonderful Life for number 3.
I know that. I knew that would be on
Number
the
2 is Catch Me If You Can. And number 1 is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my god, talk about paint by numbers.
Yeah.
That's the most,
It's a big...
What's your favorite movie? And if you're like a white dude, it's like, well, The Shawshank Redemption really struck a chord with me.
Oh my
All those
God.
times I've been in prison, I had to deal with the law.
I have stuff to say about your top movies.
Even my perfect 5, yeah. What was your second one? Catch Me If You Can is a movie that, like, if it's on TV, I will 100% watch it. It doesn't matter where it is. And I always kind of forget the order in which everything happens.
Yeah.
Like, because he's with, 3 different women?
Yeah.
No, he has...
Amy Adams is one.
Yeah, and then you realize, like, going back and watching, you're like, oh my god, that's Amy Adams.
That was Amy Adams' like first
Isn't
big...
I think that's like an under the radar Spielberg movie.
It definitely
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's also Spielberg, and, like, Hanks is really good at it. Leo, who's, like, I think my favorite actor, probably.
Yeah.
Leo is awesome.
And Christopher Walken, he got nominated for...
Oh, Walken's in it!
supporting. Yeah.
Oh my god, like...
I watched that movie like a couple days ago, and I was still like blown away by like...
No, it's...
The churning of the butter. Yeah, that's how you gotta live your life.
Yeah.
And I love that it's also a Christmas movie.
It definitely is 100% a Christmas movie.
Yeah, because they always meet on Christmas Eve. Like that's
him and Hanks.
Him and Hanks always like talk to each other on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
They usually like, call each other. Or, yeah.
It's like Die Hard.
Yes. It's like Die Hard.
Unofficial Christmas movie.
No, official Christmas movie. That's remember the one Boxing Day I went out and bought it and we watched it for Christmas. So that's your list.
I remember when we saw it, Take Shelter.
Yeah,
we were totally blown away. That was like
did we see that in our dorm?
Yeah, I think that was like
I remember
that's one of my favorite viewing experiences.
When you saw it, I remember you coming home and being like, "You need to see this movie. It changes your perspective on everything." And I'm like,
I don't know.
No, Ben and I watched it, and we sat there for like 30 minutes, and it was like credits were still going on.
For 30 minutes, the credits are rolling. Oh my god!
5 minutes.
Okay, so we were just like sitting on our beds, and then Ben got up and he turned off the TV and the light. And he said, "We'll talk about this in the morning," and we went to bed. It was like
it's so
we were so like. Well.
And then the next night, I was told other friends about it, and I watched it again. Yeah.
It's on my Netflix queue of like things that I want to watch. Like I clicked it, but I haven't got around to watching.
You should get it.
Michael Shannon is one of my favorite actors.
Michael Shannon's a really like he's an intimidating dude. Like when you see him, you're like, ooh.
That's his brow. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like this is not the like father-in-law that I would want to deal with. Definitely not. That's what I think of every time I see him.
It's pretty intimidating.
I always forget he was in Superman.
Zod.
Zod, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible superhero movie.
not terrible. I think people. You know what? This is my thoughts about the Superman movie. That is the best Dragon Ball Z movie ever made. If you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, I'm like, whoever made Zack Snyder should make a Dragon Ball Z movie because
Zack Snyder should probably not make a movie.
Talk about things that happened. Have you seen the Aquaman picture?
Yeah, that looks
insane.
Well, he's directing Justice League.
Oh yeah.
Well, Batman vs Superman, which I think
probably
he shows up in it. I think Wonder Woman's gonna show up in it. Aquaman's gonna show up in it.
Jason Momoa.
Did you hear about the rumor that there was gonna be that Batman vs Superman was gonna be 2 movies? You hear that?
No.
That's too much.
No, but it sounded cool. It was like Batman vs Superman. The first one was like.
Who's the new Batman? Affleck?
Yeah. I think that's sweet. I'm all up.
I don't know about him.
Batman vs Superman. Fine.
So
just hate on Gigi or Geely or whatever.
Geely.
I never saw it.
What are your top 5 movies? Is Geely on there?
Yeah, it's number 1.
No, his number 1 is The Happening. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes,
The Happening.
He wrote a little review about it.
Is The Happening the?
No, it's not. It's a terrible movie. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the M. Night Shyamalan one where everybody, the wind, or the
It
flowers.
really struck a chord for Ben.
Evan used to tell people that was my favorite movie.
Shyamalan's favorite movie.
Number 5, I counted it as the trilogy is 1, so Lord of the Rings. Number 4, 12 Angry Men. Number 3, It's a Wonderful Life.
You both? Number 3.
Yeah,
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Wow, you two guys are on point together.
Number 2, Rear Window. And then number 1, No Country for Old Men.
Oh,
So a couple of those are kind
so
of
good.
hit by the numbers, like Rear Window and that kind of stuff. But
I guess.
12 Angry Men is up there. I'm pretty sure on AFI it's like number 10 or something like that.
But No Country for Old Men, I love that. Coen Brothers.
yeah, they're my favorite working
Okay,
directors.
my question for you about your top, if you could pick one Lord of the Rings,
That was gonna be my question for you. Like,
pick one.
bullet or gun to your head. One of the Lord of the Rings.
Probably the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Boromir.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bomer's great.
I just like the Fellowship because it set everything up.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, like, Two Towers is the one I saw in theaters the most. I think we saw it like 5 or 6 times in theaters, which is crazy because it's like a 3-hour movie. But yeah, Fellowship is. I think it would go like Fellowship, Two Towers, and then Return of the King for me.
Yeah.
if I had
Return
to.
of the King's your last one?
Yeah, like I don't.
That's some pretty good
Not
scenes in Return of the King.
I know, like, and I think I'd have to rewatch it, but like I think Fellowship is like, yeah, it's the thing that started it all. There's so many like.
Two Towers has the big Sam speech, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
and like the battle at Helm's
There's
Deep
like 3
is
battles
so
going on
awesome.
as the Helm's Deep battle is happening. It's like,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Two Towers is just, because there's also
I believe the
Saruman's,
Ents,
right?
yeah.
The Ents, yeah. Two Towers is really good.
That river in front of Mist here, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
also
one.
happening at the
That
same
was
time.
that was Two Towers?
Yeah.
Okay, then I
That's
thought
where
that
Sam
was in
makes
Return of
his
the
big-
King.
That's where he makes his big speech about the little things.
Okay, then I got for the thing, the Lord of the Rings trilogy goes
well, you
1,
can't help
2,
but
3.
tear up.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And that's like saying, like, that's not even saying that 3 is bad. Like,
No,
No,
3 is great.
but I was thinking about this when we saw The Hobbit this last year. It's like, looking at all the orcs and everything, like, man, like the Uruk-hai in Fellowship and Two Towers, they're so cool looking. Like, you think that they're
They
real.
just like
They're
drop the
scary.
ball.
They're terrifying. Like, these creatures exist and they're going to kill me. Whereas like in Hobbit, you're like, it looks like a video game. Like
It was practice.
Yeah.
It was like built to be packaged as a video. I would enjoy it more if it was like.
Yeah, and there was oh man, don't even get me started about Hobbit 3. The whole last scene where the guy's like floating under, I can't even remember the bad guy's name. Isgoth or something, I don't know.
Asgoth.
Yeah.
Or
Azog.
Azog.
The Defiler.
Yeah, but he's like floating under, and you're like, it goes like, flicks to him like 3 times as being like, he's dead. Where is he? And you're like, obviously he's gonna come up through the ice. Like, and then the second one has the stupid GoPro scene.
The thing about the Hobbit trilogy is I like the third one the best, but it's bad. I like the third one
Like,
the
I
best.
can't even say things. I like Smog. That's it.
I like it for like scenes with Bilbo.
Yeah.
Those small scenes where Bilbo talking with like Gandalf or Bilbo with God.
Martin Freeman is
Martin
really good.
Freeman with like acting off of other people is great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
But
that's why
anytime,
I
like, a
love
battle
the Smaug and
happens,
him scene.
or there's like those extended like the barrel sequences. It's like 5 minutes too long, and
Just like orcs being killed left and right, and like things that are happening. Like,
The thing about the battle scene in the last movie, I didn't even know what was happening. Like,
I didn't know
it didn't
anything
make
was
sense.
in relation to one another.
Yeah.
yeah, like you didn't know where that. But I guess
Somehow
that's kind of like in the book.
came, and then they were able to ride the goats up to the mountain.
That's kind of like in the book though. Like things just like happen out of nowhere. Like what is going on?
But that's like
Oh,
20 pages in a book compared
I-
to 2 hours at the movies.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we really didn't need like the seizure-inducing Sauron scenes, in my opinion. But
That's another part I actually really liked about The Hobbit. Is
Really?
the Dumbledore Sauron's
yeah.
scenes. Those are really cool.
I was like, when the screen would just start like that big eye and it would be like black, red, black, red, black, red. I'm like, what is happening right now? I don't know. But so there's a tangent from favorite Lord of the Rings. So why is
Other
No
than
Country your favorite?
I think like 2007 was like the year I actually really got into movies. So 2007 had like There Will Be Blood. Juno came out that year, which is like
Yeah, Juno's really good.
it's like a really good movie. So it was just like the year where I got interested in it, and that was like the big movie of the year that I really got excited about. And since then, that's been like the standard that
the reason
I
I
hold things up to.
Are you about to say you
like-
don't like No Country for Old
the
Men?
thing is,
You
I
don't
didn't
like
The reason you don't like movies.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I found it a bit confusing. And when There Will Be Blood and No Country came out the same year, There Will Be Blood blew me away way more so than No Country for Old Men. I was kind of like, what's happening in the movie? But I don't know. Maybe I just need to rewatch it, and it'll be one of those that I like.
I think it's like the movie that got me excited about movies, like that kind of thing.
So is that obviously
That's why
Yeah.
Shawshank
It's
is
my favorite Coen Brothers.
So what would you say your like next two would be?
Probably like the standards, like Fargo and Big Lebowski. Like they're.
What did you think of Inside Llewyn Davis?
I loved it. Last year I had my number one listed as Mud for a little while, but then I switched Inside Llewyn Davis to number one.
Inside Llewyn Davis was your favorite?
Yeah, I loved it so much. It was like
All the music in that.
The
I just
music
listen to the
was great.
soundtrack all the time.
Yeah.
people
The part
also
with the-
complained about how it looked. It kind of had that faded quality.
I like
that.
I really liked that a
old
lot.
film grainy sort of.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely one of my top.
the
last
scene
year.
with Adam Driver when they're recording the song.
Oh my god!
Like,
Yeah.
just that part's so good. I love that.
with Justin
Who
Timberlake.
wrote this?
Yeah,
I did.
But then the of course it's Coen Brothers movie, and then at the end when it's like the beginning of the movie, you're like, wait, I don't understand. I still like I tried to look up online like what I don't understand what happens. Like the movie starts and it ends this like it was very confusing for me. But I loved. I think it was like number 3.
And I think a couple of years before that, A Serious Man was one of my favorite years. I think it was 2009
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
Yeah, Serious Man was good.
That's good.
Yeah, Coen Brothers are like I
Knock it out of the park most of the time. Like 90% of the time.
Most-
for a second I'm like, was Nebraska them? But no, that's what's his name? The Descendants guy.
Oh, Alexander Payne.
Alexander Payne, yeah. Yeah, no Country for Old Men. The air compressor thing.
Oh,
Definitely one of like the coolest
one of the best
weapons.
villains.
Yeah, and is it with Sugar?
Anton Sugar.
Sugar, yeah. I always forget like Woody Harrelson's in that movie and stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely need to rewatch it to get.
was it Brolin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin and then Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
I think you should watch it
Grumpy
again
old
and
man.
then watch it as Tommy Lee Jones as like the main character. I think that'll give you like a different kind of.
If I see it as Tommy Lee Jones's.
Yeah, because the movie is like how about the modern world affects him. So I think if you kind of look at it from like that way.
What else have I given it another watch?
Wow.
How about you?
Do you want to go?
These are the best movies of all time.
Oh,
According to
highly
Michael
doubt.
Hammer.
The best movies.
Number 5, I said that there was a Wes Anderson movie on here, and here it is, The Royal Tenenbaums. Number 4, 500 Days of Summer. Number 3, Toy Story 3. Number 2, Empire Strikes Back. And the best movie of all time, Jurassic Park. Spielberg classic.
It's definitely with Jurassic Park is a nostalgia factor to the.
Oh no! Go back and watch Jurassic Park.
I did
It
this
is
year.
So good.
I watched the
3D
trilogy.
in theaters.
I also
I watched the
3D.
Like,
I
that was
watched
last
the
year,
trilogy
right?
and
Yeah.
I watched the 3D one too,
Mhm.
and I loved it.
It's amazing.
But I'm saying for you,
Oh, I mean, like I said, my list isn't. These are the best movies of all time. This is like these are my favorite movies of all time.
same with me.
I know, and yes, when you're talking about your favorites, I'm like, you can't help but let nostalgia creep in. I mean, obviously this is nostalgia.
And is it only
Empire Strikes
Back, or is it?
No, I made the choice to choose one.
Okay, I should have.
I was like, I'm gonna make a strong stated opinion here, but no, Empire. I feel like just for Hoth alone is awesome, and then of course, so this is the other thing I was telling Evan this earlier. It wasn't until I made this list that I realized that each one of these movies has a scene, a specific scene that every time I think of them is boom, ingrained in my mind. So for Jurassic Park, it's the welcome to Jurassic Park when
The doors open.
no, not when the doors open. When they're on the tour and then they see the Brachiosaurus for the first time and it takes off. Every time I watch it,
You get
I
tingles.
get chills and there's sometimes where I'll tear up just from not from sadness, just being so happy. And I can't even imagine if Jurassic Park became a real thing. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the moment where it shows you the dinosaurs and those look so real. That's the other thing. Jurassic Park was made 93. The special effects in that movie are better.
Still live up to today.
Better than lots of things today. Remember the dinosaur show that was out? What was it called? There's a dinosaur show on Fox that came out a year ago or something.
Oh, Terra Nova.
Terra Nova, and it was by Spielberg and everything. I was really excited for it, and then I watched it, and I'm like, the dinosaurs almost look junk. How could we've made these amazing dinosaurs 20 years ago? I know it's different budgets and practical effects and everything, but so yeah, there's the welcome to the Jurassic Park scene, Empire Strikes Back, the I love you, I know. Oh, the amount of times I've used that line in my life. And just Han Solo being awesome. Rogue. He's probably my favorite character. I mean, that's real paint by numbers sort of thing to say, I guess, on my part. Toy Story 3, when Andy gives up his toys. It perfectly coincides with Toy Story growing up was one of my favorite movies. And he goes off to university the same year I go off to university. And I remember my mom, she'd seen it before me, and she's like, I was crying during the movie because I just kept thinking about you going off to university. And then when I saw it, Andy giving up his toys, obviously tears coming down my face because I could just, that was me, right? And when of course when they're gonna face death by fire, that's a very traumatic movie if you ask me, but.
Is it because I connected to you?
Yeah,
outside of the three of them,
yes.
I would say the first.
The first one, I would say
the first two might be better than the third.
Yeah, if you're going arguably by what is the best movie, yeah, I would say.
I think it goes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I think I go 1, 3, 2. Even though I realized that's going
Two's
this is a 100, a 100, and a 99.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all almost perfect movies in my opinion. But yeah, the Toy Story 3 just resonates with me so much, and it just perfectly coincides with my actual path in life and everything.
I'm just gonna jump down your throat for that one.
But
I accept. But
thank you for
Yeah,
accepting
when we
me.
read it yesterday, Ben was like, why Toy Story 3? Why not 1 or 2?
No, I think it's just there's that moment at the end that is you have to give up your toys.
I just have a question. Why Royal Tenenbaums?
Let me get to that.
No, why
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums is really good.
I don't even.
I think it's the weakest Wes Anderson movie.
I don't know. I love Royal Tenenbaums. It's a movie that I rewatch every year. So this is the funny thing. I have a list of movies I call the Michael Hammond feel good classics. And
What?
yes, that's what I've titled it.
How many movies?
I think there's 6 or 7 movies on there that'll be
It's a Wonderful Life.
so here's the thing. They're definitely not like feel-good movies. It's like Royal Tenenbaums is on there, which is arguably like super depressing. What else is on there? 500 Days of Summer is on there, which is like also
Depressing.
yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, Bennett, you are missing out. What else? Drive is on there. Like
Feel good classic.
it's a feel-good classic. Like they're just movies that like. It would always be with exams. Like before exams were coming up, I would just like fly through, just watching like one movie after the other, and there were always Scott Pilgrim's on there. Like it doesn't make any sense really the order of these movies, but in 500 Days of Summer you wouldn't know. Have you seen 500 Days?
Yeah, like when it came out.
There's a scene in there. It says it's expectations versus reality, and it's him going to a party. And it's like a split screen.
Yeah.
And it's him going to the party on expectations and what he thinks is going to happen at this party and everything. And then reality is like 10 seconds behind and what actually happened. And it's one of those things when you see it happen, you're like, man, there's so many times in your life that you're like, oh, I can't wait for this. This is what it's going to be like. And then you get there and it's like the complete polar opposite of everything. And then Royal Tenenbaums, the needle in the hay scene where he cuts himself. It's just like, whew. It's an intense scene.
Well, those are pretty good lists.
Yeah? Yeah. You got anything else to say?
No, I just think mine's better.
Well, that's your opinion. So yeah, I guess anything else you guys want to say? Okay, well, I guess that would conclude the inaugural episode of 4 Guys, 1 Couch, which turned into 3 Guys, 1 Couch halfway through. Does anybody have any? I have Twitter. You said you don't have Twitter. Do you have Twitter?
We have letterbox accounts.
Yes, you have Letterboxd. So you'd like to? What is your thing?
I think it's Milkman, but we could probably put a link in that.
Yeah, well, no, well, I'll
Link
have
in the
I'll have a little
description.
tag right here for his Letterboxd. Evan.
Mine is EvanHam21.
I am MPM Hammond across literally everything. So, yeah, we will hopefully be doing this on a regular basis and
Try to do it monthly, but if not monthly, then bi-weekly.
Yeah. So hopefully somebody finds this and enjoys the good stuff.